Last time, actually, I want to see that you watch the recording last time or not. Um, nobody, nobody of you, nobody watched it. Wallah. What I'm gonna say for you. Okay, but you're doing well. So I can't push you to do something if you are doing well. Okay. Let's go to number 11. We're going to read the blurb this on the second passage. He said here the following edit passage is taken from Popular Lawmaking by Frederick Jessup Stimson on early English legislation and the Magna Carta. So this is history. This relate to history. I just want to tell you that the EST used to bring the same topic in all the tests. So you can search for that topic actually on the internet to read the whole thing. But whenever you're gonna search, this is edited one. So you're not gonna find the same. You're gonna find that he add words, he add lines, but it's better if you like reading to just take the passage, put it on ChatGPT, tell him give me the whole or the original text. This is my way, even as a teacher and start reading it. Why? Because EST is not like SAT, is not like ACT. They don't have variety. They start to repeat the same topic now and then. So this is history. So number 11 is a big picture. And we said how we can solve the big picture. We depend on reading the first paragraph and the last paragraph. But I do prefer, again, to leave the big picture till the end. Why? By the end of the 10 or 11 question that you're going to solve for the passage, you're going to be well, the passage is going to be well known for you. And you're going to know what is the big picture. So let's just follow our technique in solving with this one. I'm going to go to the first paragraph. And as we said, we make it simple as we can. We read the first sentence, the last sentence of the first paragraph, and first sentence, the last sentence of the last paragraph. Here he said, Parliament began avoidedly to make new laws in the 13th century. But the number of such laws concerning private relations, private civil law, remained for centuries. Okay, so that means what happened on the 13th century remained after the last sentence of the first paragraph. It's here. There is and. Take a sentence before. We know how we can do that. We know the technique. There is they. We don't know they refer to whom. Take a sentence before. Again they. Take a sentence before. So from here. Absolutely different is this idea. Which idea you're talking about? So take a sentence before. The same thing. Because of that, sometimes he pushed me to read everything. Okay. If any citizen thinks that anything is wrong, we know now that it's in the law. He or she, as it is almost more likely to be, rushes to some legislature to get a new law passed. So they pay for it. Absolutely different in this idea from the Old English notion of law as something already existing. They have forgotten that completely and have the modern American notion of law as a ready made thing, a thing made today to meet the emergency of tomorrow. They have gotten over the notion that any parliament or legislature or sovereign should only sign the law. And I say sign advisedly because he doesn't enact it, doesn't create it, but signs a written statement of law already existing. All idea that it should be justified by custom experiment has been forgotten. And here is the need and the value of this our study. So why he made this study? For that one. For the change that are being made by new legislation in this country are probably more important today than anything that is being done by the executive or the judiciary. The other two departments of the government. Okay. The last paragraph. The first sentence, it starts with and, so I have to take it since before. Okay, from here, except incidentally, we shall not go into executive or political questions, but the sociological. I wish there were some simpler word for it. Let us say the human legislation, legislation that concern not the government, the king, or the state, but each man in these relations to every other, that deals with property, marriage, divorce, private rights, labor, the corporations, combination, trust, taxation, rates, police power, and the other great questions of the day and indeed of all time. And Parliament didn't begin by being a law-making body. Okay, the last sentence. In England today, the real sovereign is the Parliament. The mere shadow of sovereignty is left to the executive, the king, and none whatever given the judicial branch. No, here, the last. In this country, preserve the three branches distinct. Okay, because the three branches will take before. Though none, not all three together, are sovereign, it's the people who are that. Okay, thank you. Let's find now. To define legislation and its characteristics, he gave us a definition for legislation and he told us that it's completely different from the past. But he doesn't give us characteristics for it. The detrimental attributes of early legislation, it's the same like characteristics. It's the same attributes like characteristic. And I delete A because of characteristics. So B is the same thing. The difference between American legislation and English legislation, I heard American only. I didn't hear anything about the English. The connection between the origin of legislation and its transformation modern law, yes. He said that it started on the 13th century. Most of the legislation is still till now, and some huge legislation that is more important today and tomorrow than in the past because it start to be made and the legislator only sign, he doesn't enact. Yes, so it's D. Number 12, it's vocabulary. As used in line 15 act, we read it. Most nearly means. Okay, let's go and find the keywords for it. Enact is here. We read that. We said that the legislature will not enact it. He will sign only. So they have gotten over the notion that they, the parliament or legislature or sovereign should only sign the law, and I say sign advisedly because he doesn't enact it, doesn't create it. So enact means create. Enact means create, but sign. So let's go there to find out. Present, no. Act, no. Perform, no. Pass. Because he doesn't create it, so he doesn't write it, so he doesn't pass it. So the answer is pass. The question after is 28. It's in this one. Here, paired passages. Paired passages. Passage 1, again, I do prefer to keep paired passages till the end. Why? Because most of the questions are going to be tone question. Here he said passage 1, the minds and manners of wild animals. A book of personal observation by Hornaday discusses his methodology used to understand an ape's mind. Passage 2, taken from Anecdotes of the Habits and Instinct of Animals by Mrs. R. Lee, discusses her close personal examination of monkeys. Okay, let's go to question 28. Question 28, again, it's big picture. Again, second time, big picture. So we have two, big picture and one vocab. In passage 1, the author perception of animals can best be described as. Here to talk about the whole passage. It's big picture. Even if you're going to consider it that as the author indication or inference and function, you're going to leave it till the end. Okay, let's find the perception for the authors of animals in passage 1. We're going to follow the same technique. First paragraph, first sentence, last sentence, last paragraph, first sentence, last sentence. It said here, In the study of animal minds, much depends upon the method employed. Okay. The last sentence here. To put a wild, spatule monkey, weak, timid, and afraid, in a strange and formidable prison box filled with strange machinery and call upon it to learn or to invent strange mechanical processes is like bringing a boy of 10 years up to a four-cylinder duplex, who printing and folding press, and saying to him, now go ahead and find out how to run this machine and print both sides of a signature upon it. Okay, so the last paragraph here, first sentence. I try to teach a chimpanzee the difference between a noise and music, between heat and cold, between good food and bad food. Okay, let's go to question 28. Sheer astonishment. He's not astonished. He want to understand the behavior of the monkey and he want to learn him. Patient understanding, maybe. Silent uno, because he didn't say anything that to let us or attract us or bewildered us. Persistent disgust, maybe. He was discussed in the beginning, but by the end or the last paragraph, he insists on understanding the behavior of the monkey or the ape. I would try to teach, so to understand. So in 28, it's B. 36, the passage after. The following edit passage is taken from The Lives of the Poets of Great Britain and Ireland by Theophilus Kuyper on the poets. Talk about female. Mrs. Manley, she's a poet, and her father, Sir Roger Manley. Okay, let's go to 36. Okay, 36 is inference and function, the easiest one. He said in lines 47 till 48, the author mentioned that Miss Manley received an education suitable to her birth, meaning, okay, let's go. Read it, 47 till 48. Here. So we're going to take the whole sentence. His daughter, our authoress, so he talked about Miss Manley, we know, received an education suitable to her birth and gave very early discoveries of a genius, not only above her years, but much superior to what is usually to be found amongst her own sex, among the girls. Okay, let's go and find out. So her education reflected her father's higher standing in society, maybe because she said suitable to her birth, and that means suitable to her family. Her education reflected the limitation set upon women of her time. No, he doesn't talk about the limitation because here it make a kind of flattering for her. Her education was minimal and only given to her at a young age. You know, he does say that it's minimal. Her education surpassed her peers in most subjects. No, we didn't talk about that because we didn't talk about her peers. We talk about her. 37, but 37, we can't take it without 38. Actually, yes, you got 38 right because you search for the words and you find it here. He said, according to his actions, I'm talking about the father, Sir Roger Manley's character can best be. Okay, I'm going to read that to find which one is matching here. From 72 till 78. 72 till 78. He said the eldest of these orphans, Sir Roger Manley took under his protection. So he took the eldest of the orphans, bestowed or apply a very liberal education on him. So he was a guy, and endeavor to inspire his mind with other principles than those he had received from his father. So Sir Roger Manley took care of him. So let's go up. Complacent and willing, unconcerned, no. Unrelenting means stern, no even. Cold? No, it's not cold. Nourishing? Yes, he nourished him. He said by the end that he gave him education more than his father. It's supportive, that right? So it's a D. The last question is 44 for the last passage. The following edit passage taken from the Chemistry, Properties, Scientific, and Test of Precious Stones by John Maston on the specific gravity of stones. Let's go to 44. Again, big picture. 3 questions, big picture. The passage is most likely written for an audience that, okay, we know that's scientific, but let's follow our technique. First sentence, first paragraph. The fixing of the specific gravity of a stone also determines its group position with regard to weight, its color, and other characteristics defining the actual stone. The last one. There are several ways of arriving at this, such as by weighing in balances in the usual manner, by displacement, and by the immersion in liquids, the specific gravity of which are known. He's talking actually to some people that they are scientists. They know everything about those terminology because I don't know what the meaning of displacement. The last sentence or the last paragraph. Okay, this is the last part. This is especially appreciated when it's remembered. Oh, the problem there is I think it's not the last paragraph. The last paragraph is going to be here. Here. On certain stones being extracted and placed in other liquids of lighter or denser specific gravity, as the case may be, their proper classification may easily be arrived at. And if the results are checked by actual weight and a specific gravity balance, they will be found to be fairly accurate. The last sentence. Either the color and characteristics suffer in obtaining the required weight or density, or if the color and other properties of an artificial stones are made closely to resemble the real, then the specific gravity is so greatly different, either more or less, as at once to stamp the jewels as false. Okay. He took even to jewelries, people that they know, how can find out the uh, real jewels or real gems. Solely, so it's rated to audience, solely want the basic approach of calculating specific gravity? No. He wants people that they know or audience that they know the difference between false jewels and real one. Has years of professional experience in measuring specific gravity for liquids and stones? No. If they have experience, they don't need to read that. Seek method of defining specific gravity stones? Yes, maybe. Understand the definition of specific gravity? No, because it doesn't mention the meaning or the definition for it. But they want method for defining specific gravity. So the answer is C. That was the whole thing for the last test. Let me stop recording.